What's going on, guys? It's your brother Ziad back with another video packed with value. Alright, for those who are new, welcome, brother. I help Muslim men level up with their physique and their overall personal development. Fellas, I'll be honest, one of the worst feelings out there if you do consider yourself to be, a overall ambitious person is to feel like you're not progressing in your life. And in this video, I'll be going through 3 tips to help you with that. Alright, with that being said, please do take notes and apply because these tips are very beneficial. Now, let's get straight into it. Number 1. And that is that I want you to be aware of your digital environment. Brothers, let's be honest, alright? We spend multiple hours every single solitary day on social media, scrolling and whatever. And one thing I really want you to be aware of and truly internalize is that every single thing that you consume on a regular basis on these apps have a huge effect on you. Now, please understand that if your FYP, alright, it is filled with people who are always locked in on a pretty consistent basis, and all the traits such as consistency, persistency, and overall good work ethic will become normalized in the back of your mind. And as we all know, one of the best ways to level up in your life is to be simply consistent, and you'll start to see the results of it by Allah's permission. Therefore, please be aware of what you consume on social media. Alright, fellas, for number 2, this one is also very effective. That is that I want you to learn from experts. Guys, please understand that your time and your mental energy is one of the most precious things, alright? And one of the best ways to level up in your life way faster is to simply learn from those where you have what you want. Because think of it this way, alright? They've been probably months, perhaps even years trying things out, learning things themselves, and perhaps they even paid other people to teach them what they know. Now, you can either pay for a mentor or a coach or whatever, but if for whatever reason you cannot afford one, the least you can do is take advantage of their free value. In fact, regarding all these coaches and mentors, etc., if you do not benefit from their free value, then there's a much higher likelihood that they are scammers. Therefore, if you could get a coach, alright? They are going to give you a specific blueprint for your case. And if you cannot, take advantage of the free value, bro, alright? I repeat, your time and your mental energy are very precious. For number 3, fellas, I'm not gonna lie, this one comes off as very cliche, but it is extremely beneficial, as all these points are. That is that read more books. It's like the most typical personal development advice, but what I want you to think about, guys, is that from what I remember, the average person, alright, reads about 1 book every single year, whereas the average CEO, on the other hand, reads about a book every single week. Now think about this, right? CEOs are, generally speaking, very busy individuals. These guys are very selective with how they spend their time. Yet, they prioritize reading a book every single week. That is impressive. Maybe you don't understand how deep that is, bro. Like, these guys are genuinely very busy. They have responsibilities, a lot of duties, teams to manage, many things to manage, alright? Yet they prioritize reading books. Definitely there must be a pretty big reason for that. Me personally, in the past couple of months, I've read about 4 to 5 books, alright, or something like that. I forgot the number exactly, and I can tell you right now, it has an effect on you. It starts off with reading 1 book, then 5, then 15, then 20, right? And then over the long run, all the data, the new info, the new perspectives, etc., will start to compound and have an effect on you. With that being said, brothers, that's pretty much for this entire video. Alright, I repeat, it is packed with value, so make sure you do take notes and apply. And as somebody who was once skinny, a bit fat, and finally in much better shape, I do help men level up with their physique and their overall personal development. Therefore, if you do want to work with me directly online and get coached by me, I'll put a link right below this video where you can book a call for my one-on-one online coaching. And as always, brothers, take care of yourself.